If you're having knee pain, these are gonna be 2 exercises that you can incorporate into your routine that will help strengthen the back of the knee and hopefully provide you some relief. They have provided a lot of relief for my knees, and my knees have taken a beating. So first exercise we're gonna do today is going to be a reverse step down. I'm gonna demonstrate, and then I'm actually gonna do a set so you guys can follow along if you'd like. But a reverse step down, you're gonna be elevated on a surface. You're gonna extend one leg out. Your leg that you're standing on, you're gonna bend at the knee. You're gonna let the knee go past the toe slightly. You're gonna lift the toe on the opposite foot. Heel's gonna touch. And then I'm gonna press through. You're not gonna wanna pause at the bottom, so it's gonna be like a tap and stand. I'll bend the knee, tap, and stand. We're gonna perform 10 reps on one leg, then you're gonna switch, 10 reps on the other leg. Now there are some regressions for this. I'll provide that in a second, so stay tuned. But we are going to do 10 reps on one leg, 10 reps on the other leg, and then we'll use a running clock. I'm gonna write down my time real quickly for my previous workout before I forget. And we're gonna utilize that exercise for today. The other exercise, there are also modifications and variations for that as well. So stay tuned. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Also, if you guys wanna support, I would love the support by subscribing, turn on the notifications bell, and sharing this with others. Hopefully it inspires other people to move, to get into the gym, to restart their journey if they've taken some time. And thank you guys for being patient and waiting for me to make sure I write down my splits. All right, so we're gonna start off today with 25s, but we're gonna work our way up. I'll actually grab some 20s. I'll provide some regressions here shortly so you guys can see before I get started. I like to always warm up, do a couple reps before I get to the weight that I wanna use. Today we're gonna be using 25s. Those feel pretty good. My right knee is a little more funky than my left knee, so we're gonna start with my left knee. Now, regressions can be taking away the board, using just a slant board. I'm gonna have the balls of my feet, or maybe my entire foot of my standing leg on the board. Opposite leg is gonna come out, still gonna lift the leg, bend, tap, and straighten. This is gonna significantly reduce the distance that you're bending or tapping that bottom leg. So I have progressed to this 6-inch mat. These are from Slant Board Guy, Slant Board Girl. They customize them for me. Super awesome. Work hard, wind down is my message. But I'm gonna be using the 6-inch riser with the slant board. This is going to allow me to get that distance. To regress this even more, you can come off the slant board. You could stand on a step or some sort of elevator surface in your room or house, extend the leg, bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Notice that my range of motion again is a little bit smaller. The slant board takes a little bit of angle out, but today we're gonna be using the slant board. And we're gonna use 25-pound dumbbells. My right knee, I've been running the past 2 days, which has been awesome, especially since my back and my PRP. So we're gonna see how this goes. There you go, 1, 2. If you can hear my knee, 3, 4. I might put my mic by it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you have crunchiness in your knees, maybe a little bit of scar tissue in there, you want to reduce that pain, get rid of this crunchiness, this will help. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're gonna take a break. Entropy's gonna come join us. Hi, Entropy. We did a workout earlier. If you guys are interested in the workout, feel free to comment below and I'll share it. So we just did 1 set. I use my timer. This is my Polar Watch. I use my timer to keep the splits. So if you're doing this on your own, like I said, a few ways to regress it that I just demonstrated and showed. If you also want to regress it, meaning pull back from what I'm showing and demonstrating, you could do 5 sets of 10 and 10. You could even do 5 sets of 5 on each leg. So instead of going for the full 10, regress. This is a total of 100 reps on each leg. So if you're not used to that volume, please regress it and use a variation that I provided. So I'm gonna rest about 30-ish seconds to a minute. We're doing total 10 sets. I try to do this within a 10-minute time frame. After we do this, we're gonna do the second exercise, which is great for opening the hip, but it's also gonna help strengthen the back of the knee as well as improve range of motion mobility. So again, if you have knee crunchiness, if you have knee pain, this also could reduce that from my experience. I wish I could put my mic down by my knee so you guys could hear it. All right, that was a minute. We'll go to the next set. Again, I'm always gonna start with my right knee. If I need to vary it, I'll start with my left. 2, 3, knees trying to go straight down. I'll be quiet so maybe you guys can hear my knee. Oh my God, if you guys can hear it, let me know. 2, I don't have as much crunchiness in this knee. All right, 2 sets. I might use this box for the dumbbells, so I don't have to kneel down as low. Also, another exercise that you guys can utilize for this is a VMO squat. So a VMO squat, it's kind of like a slant board squat. The VMO is one of the muscles in the quad. There we go. Hopefully, you guys, it doesn't impede the, actually it's a little high. Hopefully it doesn't impede the view of the exercise. It might actually. All right, so just some technical difficulties. That was about 40 seconds. Our new next set. If you guys are doing these with me, again, please feel free to vary or modify if need be. Can you hear my knee? Can you hear me now? All right. Whoops. This does require a little bit of balance. All right, that's, the height of the box is perfect. All right, so just to kind of talk about from the front angle, as I bend my knee, knee's going relatively straight over the middle of the foot. Maybe it's a little bit on like the 4th toe here, not my pinky, but there. We just really want to avoid that knee going in, right? So I'm trying to track it forward, maybe slightly out a little bit external rotation. But this opposite leg, I'm pulling my toes up, flexing my foot, heel touches the ground. I'm engaging the quad as I do these. 10, 10, rest 30 seconds to 60 seconds. We're gonna do total 10 sets. I'm using my watch to keep track so I don't lose track, because talking, counting, and trying to coach at the same time is difficult if you've ever done it. 3, 4, 5. You could always regress this with no dumbbells. 10. So you just take the dumbbells out and do no weight. You're still gonna feel it. I did that for many, many sessions. You also want to try to keep your hips relatively level. You just don't want to like dip in the hip, right? I'm trying to think how your hip would dip. Right, so if your knee's bending, you don't just want to dip. It's weird to do that intentionally. Excuse me. So again, this is an exercise that you can do to strengthen the back of the knee. We're intentionally putting our intentionally putting our knees past our toes in this position, right, as I demo here, just with the one leg, or this leg. All right, as I dip, knee intentionally goes past the toes. If I'm walking down the stairs, my knee's naturally gonna pass through my toe, or go past my toe. I can't talk today. Today, Junior. Does anybody know what movie that's from? Me and my movie quotes. I love movie quotes. Another way to regress is if you're doing it with no elevated surface or box, is doing against the wall. So you have your hand against the wall, so you have some additional support if need be. Alrighty, we are halfway there. 5 sets, 5 more. The next exercise we're gonna demonstrate, so for those that are tuning in and staying in, I appreciate y'all. Feel free to share this video and subscribe and support. That helps me immensely. Another exercise we're gonna do is going to be either with or without the box. I'll show both variations. I'll show some modifications. I will probably be going a little bit lighter with that one just because my back. We'll see how it feels with body weight. Then we'll add some sort of external load. You could always do a kettlebell. Same thing here. No weight, right? No weight needs to be extra or need to utilize. And you also, if you want lightweight, but maybe not dumbbells, you could use a kettlebell. You could even use a barbell, but again, if you're new to this, I highly recommend starting just body weight. I did that for many, many sessions, getting more comfortable with the movement pattern and the positioning. And as I've done these, my knee starts to feel better automatically. 8, less crunchy. And when I was doing these consistently, my crunchiness was less and less. 6. Consistency is key. Not only here in the gym, but outside the gym. Nutrition, sleep, hydration, etc. Also, if you guys are interested in some nutrition videos or topics like macronutrients, what are macros, what are micros, in terms of micronutrients, timing, a day in the life of eating, what I typically, it's interesting, I don't want the videos to be about me. I want the videos to be about education and purpose towards you all. How can I help serve you education-wise, information-wise, entertainment, even though I may not be entertaining. How can I help give back to the community? And I want to make sure that I'm providing that. So if there's anything that's helpful and beneficial for you guys, even if it is a day in the life of food or what I consume that hopefully helps to give you guys an insight, then by all means, I will do that. Which, by the way, I need to start cooking more with my Traeger. Just got my Traeger and it is amazing. Had brisket last week. It was incredible. I think I'm gonna do, that was extra one. I think I'm gonna do some maybe steaks or chicken, grill some on there. 2, 3, whoops. Damn. 6, a little unbalanced today. All right, so today we did a 30-minute walk with the fur balls. It was hot, sprayed her down with water. I'm already out of my water. Sorry. And then we did, goodness gracious, my back, shoulder, hip, glute, and PT exercises, a little bit of extra work. And then I'm deciding that I'm gonna do my conditioning pieces first, because by the time I finish my lifting or strength training, I'm like, nope, I don't wanna do a conditioning piece. I'd be like, tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and then I'm like, tomorrow. I think I scratched my ankle. So we did a conditioning piece today. I'll share that here in a second with you guys. We're almost finished. We have this and 2 more sets, so 3 more sets. You may notice one side's stronger than the other. That will be typical. I've talked about that before in my videos. So as much as we want symmetry on our body, on our face, on our arms, legs, it's important to acknowledge that we're not always gonna have that. So being aware of trying to balance that. That's why I love a lot of unilateral work, single arm pushes, single arm presses, single arm rows, single leg exercises. I'm huge on that. Highly recommend incorporating that. Balance is important. A handful of people have talked about it. I'm listening to this book just started. Kelly Starrett, Julie Starrett, they started their book, I think it was Supple Leopard, way back in the day. They used to be owners of CrossFit San Francisco. Anyways, they have a couple of different books out there, but they're talking about, I lost my train of thought. That's my scroll brain for you. Anyways, they're talking about like mobility and your body, and there's so many different facets to it, and how you can like beat yourself up in the gym, but you may not have necessarily good health, right? Fitness is a one component, but there's so much more to health. Oops. 10, and again, if you guys can hear my knee, it's gotten less and less crunchy as the sets have gone on. Okay, 1 more set. I also like to use a timer to make sure I'm consistent on my time. All right, so again, 2 exercises. This is the first one. Second one we'll do shortly after this last set. I will show modifications as well. This is a reverse step down or reverse step up. Essentially, you're stepping down, but you're going from top down to bottom, back to top. Great exercise, highly recommend incorporating it. Modifications, like I said earlier, you could do 10 sets of 10, which I'm doing to aggress it, 5 sets of 10, or 5 sets of 5, meaning 5 on each leg for 5 sets. I'm resting 30 to a minute. You could rest longer if need be. The intention of this is to strengthen the back of the knee, help getting comfortable with your knees going past your toes. We're gonna get another set in here as the car drives by or vehicle drives by. Hopefully you can still hear me. 8, my knee feels way better already. I think that was 10, maybe extra one. So when I first started, I was like, man, my knee not feeling so good. 3, 4, 5. All right, last set, woohoo. I'm gonna get ready for the next one. So yeah, so my knee wasn't feeling so hot, especially the right one. I've noticed when I run, and I haven't ran in a while, it starts to get irritated. Also, as my hips and hamstrings tighten up, starts to pull. So typically, for me, knee issues have resided from quads, hips, glutes, hamstrings, IT band all being tight and pulling, or calves and shin being tight, so it's pulling, and that is where my knee issues have come from. From the first set to the last set, it feels significantly better. All right, let's go over the next exercise, because time's a ticking. This is going to be a split squat. Some people may call it a knees over toes split squat. There is a Bulgarian split squat that I've demonstrated before. This is not a Bulgarian split squat. This is different. So I'm gonna demonstrate here so you guys can see, and then we'll do modifications. So I'm gonna get into a split stance. Think of like a nice wide triangle. If you've ever done split jerks, right, where one leg goes forward, other leg goes back, kind of same concept. We wanna make sure that we're not tight roping. If you can see this line on the floor, I do not wanna be here. I wanna think feet underneath my hips and shoulders. So between those 2 points, and I'm stepping forward and back. So notice that I do have a difference from my right to left foot. As I get into this position, my back leg, I want to go into my toes, so you guys can hopefully see. I'm going to go into my tippy toes, my back foot, so I'm kind of pressing through the balls of my feet on my back leg here. I'm going to bend, push my knee past my toe, try to get my hamstring to my calf while maintaining my heel and sole of the foot on the ground. I am getting a big deep stretch on that back leg. I'll demonstrate on the other side here shortly. And then I'm going to press back up. Obviously a little bit of balance here. So I want to try to stay elevated on this back leg. I'm going to lower all the way down, hold for a second, and then come all the way back up, staying elevated. As I come back up, my heel gets close to the floor, but I want to make sure that I'm not trying to drive my heel to the ground. So from the opposite side, it looks like this. Extended on the back leg, squat, split squat. Now I will say my right hip is way tighter. My heel starts to come off the floor a little bit. You guys can see that. So I know that my right hip's tighter. It's hard to get this position without twisting and rotating. I also want to make sure my knee joint is not touching the ground. So I'm trying to straighten my leg as much as I can. And then I'm going to come back up. Now to modify this, I can open up my stance a little bit more, but if I do that, I'm not going to get my knee as far past my toe. I'm still getting it past my toe, a good amount for me, but I know that hence my mobility and flexibility right now. My left calf's a little tighter, my right hip's a little tighter, so that's what I need to work through. Reminding me to stretch my hips more. All right, now modifications. Same box here that I can use, right? I'm gonna demonstrate from both sides. What we can do is we can elevate our foot on a surface. I'll demonstrate from this side since this is my tighter side. Elevate my leg and foot, go into that range of motion. Try to really keep my heel down, hips square versus rotating. Again, my right hip's tighter, so I want to twist open, and then I can press back up. And I can do that on both sides. And then I can even, that's a small modification. If you need a bigger modification, get a higher box, right? Same thing. Go into that lunge, and then back. Now you may ask, how does it modify? Well, it lifts your foot up on the front end. So your back leg, as you go to extend, if your hips are really tight, you don't worry as much with your knee getting close to the floor. Like I can almost touch the knee to the floor here, right? If I extend, I feel that stretch in the back leg. So that allows me to modify. So since my hips are really tight and I'm putting my ego away today, we're gonna modify today. Nothing's wrong with modifying. I'm trying to be smart and make sure that the PRP that I did on my back, I didn't just throw it out the window by exercising and being stubborn and be like, no, I have to do it this way. So we're gonna modify. Nothing wrong with modifying. So today we're gonna do no weight for me. We are going to do 10 sets of 5 on each leg. We're gonna start with my left leg up, right leg back since that's the tighter side, and I'm really gonna focus on driving my right hip forward. Let's reset the watch. We got 10. So hopefully these will go a little quicker so I'm not using light weight. I'm looking more for range of motion. Whoo, really feeling that at the hip. 2, 3, 4. And again, these feel really easy right now. Like I'm like, oh, I should probably use some weight, right? But the focus today is not to just like trash my body so I can't do anything tomorrow. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So again, we are not using weight today. If I want to modify this even too, I could add the slant board. And if I have really, really tight calves, really extremely tight Achilles, arch of the foot, heel, whatever, and you're having issues, you could always add a slant board. That will help get a little more stretch in the calf. But again, up to you, depending on what you want to look for. So The focus here today, again, elevate on the back leg, start with a straight leg, push that knee past my toe while trying to maintain that entire foot on the ground or platform, whatever you're using. 3, focus on this hip going forward. 4, making sure that I'm not twisting, rotating out. And I can feel it when I hinge towards the ground. I'm trying to protect my back, so I twist a little bit. And I know that is a really bad habit because I don't want to continue to keep putting my body in a twisted position, but I'm also trying to compensate for my nerve that's being pinched on my back, trying to avoid that pinchy, nervy, tingling feeling, that sciatica pain down my leg. And so that's why when I hinge, I'm kind of twisting slightly a little bit as I come down versus going straight. It is getting better. Excuse me. It's been almost 3.5 weeks now since I've got PRP. So trying to be smart. This will get better. Fingers crossed. So we're gonna focus on that. So like I said, modifications, I was 2 sets. We're resting about 20 to 30 seconds here. Because it's relatively lightweight, I'm not feeling as challenged in terms of the weight, but I am challenged with this right hip right here. This is super tight. 5. So next time I do these, I'm gonna try to do these again maybe in like either Thursday or Friday. I'm gonna plan on regressing it so there's no platform and then see how that goes. And then after that, add a little bit of the load. I already did. Did I start on the wrong side? That was a minute, I think that's right. Talking and thinking and trying to work out at the same time is hard, difficult. All right, so again, these are the 2 exercises. This is, oh yeah, I already started it. Let me focus. All right, so again, this is knees over toes, VMO squat or split squat. 3, 4. I'll put the mic now by my knee so you guys can hear it. It's a little more crunchy now because I'm extended. My hip, since my right hip's really, really tight, it's pulling on that quad. 2, I have to get more water. 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, so feeling really, really good. We are 4 sets down. We're gonna do 6 more sets. Again, trying to be quick and fast, efficient. Make sure that time is going well. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Feel free to share this video if you find it helpful and beneficial. It definitely helps me. Hopefully trying to reach more people, educate them, give them some insight to what I've done. Hopefully it helps them. I think that was 3. Oh, 4. Can you guys hear that? My left one isn't as crunchy too. So I think it's a combination of a little bit of arthritis in there, scar tissue, crunchy, crunchy, crunch. Maybe some like Captain Crunch that's in there. Just kidding. If anybody's still listening and paying attention. I already did that leg. Oh my goodness. Okay, more water. So I don't have water in my Yeti, but we are going to enjoy some more of this water that's right here because I need some agua. I think Entry needs water too. All right. Okay. Next set. Okay, so that was about 30 seconds rest. Here, let's try it again. 1. I will say that this feels extremely good on my hip. That stretch, lengthening it. 2, 3, 4. I don't feel as big of a stretch here, but again, my left hip isn't as tight. We're just gonna do another set right away. So I'm kind of pressed for time. It's already 11, 2, 3. I can feel it all down the front of the hip. 4, 5. So this exercise will also strengthen your legs, your quads, right? You're working on mobility, flexibility, strengthening, lengthening. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we got 3 more sets. So So any specific questions in terms of other exercises, let me know. Like I said before, the VMO slant board squat is a great exercise. It's gonna help strengthen the VMO. It's also gonna help provide mobility. If you have a hard time doing squats, that's a great exercise because your heels are elevated on a slant board. So you're able to get better range of motion. And if you don't have a board like this, you could always use a plate, like a 45-pound plate, 25-pound plate, a bench or box. Just be very aware, make sure it's stable, make sure it's safe. I think this is an extra one. That was another set, cool. We're just gonna kind of fly through these last sets. Again, I'm not using weight, so I don't feel like I necessarily need as much rest here. 3, 4, 5, and you can notice on my back leg, I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible. There's a slight bend in it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Woofy. Okay, we got one more set. Take a little stretch. All right, so again, the first exercise, reverse step downs, reverse step ups, help strengthen the back knee, help strengthen the quad as well as the hip. It's gonna help you get comfortable with the knees going past the toes, even though naturally your body probably already has that ability, unless you've had surgeries or injuries, and you might be uncomfortable for whatever reason. And the second one, which we're doing right here, is that VMO split squat, or knees over toes split squat. I'm modifying it a little bit, so my foot is elevated about like, what is that, 2 inches? 1.5 inches. Whew. 5. You can hear the crickets outside. I don't know if you guys can catch it on the mic. 2, 3. Remember, trying to get hips going forward. There may be a slight twist. 5. Remember, we're just trying to avoid like a really big, egregious like rotation. If that's happening, elevate that front leg so you don't have that problem. All right, so that was the 10th and final set. These are 2 exercises. Like I said, they can help strengthen the back of your knees, help strengthen your legs, give you more definition, improve your mobility, flexibility. Please share with others. Hopefully you guys found this very helpful in many aspects, and I'll see you guys next time.